So who thinks the stock market is super overbought and wants it to pull back? I'm not too sure if it's just me, but I was talking to a couple Learn Plan Profit members, and at least for myself, I'm wired in the way that I want to buy something for a good deal. And it is so amazing. There's no question the market is super bullish. It just hit all-time highs, and it is amazing to see it doing so well. But one of the things that we have to take into consideration is just it's been on such a consistent green streak that I just want to make it aware to not be afraid to have some form of exit plan if we begin to see a change of direction. On top of that, I hope that you guys absolutely killed it today with the market. I found TQs, which I trade a lot of TQs and SQs. It's pretty much all I trade. I found TQs when the market opened to be very overbought. And guess what? It continued to push up. It's not like I missed out on anything crazy. /NQ pushed up a total of about almost 2% on the day. So I did miss out on that. But again, it comes down to the very simple idea that when something does not meet your criteria, don't be ashamed that you don't go in and be able to ride whatever ended up happening, right? Because then if the market would have dropped 2% today, I would have saved myself from that potential loss. It's great to see that the market is thriving, but it's also good to have in the back of your head of when is this going to come to an end? We talked about Netflix in yesterday's video. I'm not too sure if you guys remember that, but it was a stock that I've been paying a lot of attention to. Today, and this is the mind-boggling part about it, today not only Netflix pushed up over 10% on the day, pretty much almost to 180-day highs, but so did Roku. And there's no question that we've talked about, why have I been paying a lot of attention to Netflix? Well, Netflix was thriving during the pandemic as people were in quarantine, and the overall subscription model for Netflix was doing exceptionally well. They had two of their biggest quarters for Q1 and Q2. So on the fundamental side, it made sense. On the technical side, it made a lot of sense too because it was trading below the SMA line. And in one day, this doesn't happen very often, but in one day, because of a Citi research analyst upgraded the price per share of where they projected to be for 2021 and 2022, shot it up over 10%, not just on Netflix, but also on Roku as well. Roku a little bit closer to its 180-day high. Now, one of the things that I want to share with you is never be afraid to lock in profits, especially when you understand that the catalyst that was announced is most likely very short-lived. It's this individual's opinion, right? An incredible opinion in that sense, is what caused it to push up. Now you need to take into consideration on how much upside do you see there to be versus the downside. And would you rather be able to lock in profits now or follow with a stop loss? So if we do begin to see a change of direction, you at least get to walk away with some money in your pocket. And I think that we can all agree that that is both a positive takeaway. The idea that I want to share with you is don't just think about how much more money you can make if you're not also thinking about how much money you can give back, because it's always a two-sided street, right? It's not just you're only going to make a profit. You also need to take into consideration that if the hype and the demand and the attention is no longer there tomorrow or the day that follows, that it wouldn't be much of a surprise because of the increase of volume. I mean, it's very obvious. The increase of demand and the increase of volume, both for Netflix and Roku, have shot up today, just like when we hit overall highs. And then guess what happens? It corrects itself once that demand is no longer there. It's not that Netflix and Roku has to pull back. It just would make sense that over a matter of time, as the demand shifts elsewhere, that we could see a slight correction. So all I want to remind you and encourage you is to have some form of exit plan. You can follow with a stop loss, a max draw loss, a max percentage loss, or a trailing stop loss, or simply reduce your position size in a way that you lock in part of your profits now and you let the other half or whatever percentage you'll leave in there to continue to run if you think that there is more upside. The last thing that I want to talk about has to do with /NQ and how I plan to trade it. One of the things that we're noticing is we just hit 180-day highs also for the S&P. This is /ES, which is the S&P 500. We have now surpassed previous highs on the S&P 500 future based off of where we were right before the pandemic hit. Those are huge milestones, and if you look into why the market has been increasing the way that it has, it's because and please correct me if I'm wrong, but all I continue to see on what's driving the market right now is analysts want to end the week at new levels, right? At breaking records in the sense that they continue to have like the biggest gain week over week. The thing that I am beginning to notice is that it almost sounds like too good to be true. And I'm not saying that, hey, you should avoid this by no means, right? The market is bullish, and as day traders or even as investors, it is your job to take advantage of opportunities that make sense to you. If the market is bullish and the market continues to remain bullish, then why overcomplicate it? All I want you to take into consideration is if you think that it is just too good to be true and you're beginning to kind of like second guess yourself, just make sure that you're maybe a little bit more selective with your position size or where you choose to put your money. That's all I want to encourage you. A stop loss, a trailing stop loss, some form of exit plan. So if we do begin to see a pullback, as it's bound to happen, it happens all the time with /NQ, which is a little bit more tech focused, makes new highs, it pulls back to the SMA line. It makes new highs, it pulls back to the SMA line. It makes new highs, and it pulls back to the SMA line. Makes new highs, pulls back to the SMA line. It makes new highs. It doesn't mean that it has to happen tomorrow, the day that follows, or even next week. All it means is that after a rally, there is some form of pullback or correction. And all I'm here to do is, again, to simply try to encourage you to make sure that you walk away with some money in your pocket. Because at the end of the day, again, you're not trading with what you could be trading with 3 or 4 years from now, right? 5 years from now. So just make sure that you do your future self a favor and you set yourself up for success and you simply have a plan. And if you guys agree, I really hope that we earned your thumbs up. One of the last things that I want to talk about is we're getting towards the end of the month, which means that we plan to host our free live trading session. So if you've ever wanted to watch me trade live for free, we actually host it here on YouTube. And I wanted to ask you, should I host it tomorrow, which is Thursday, August 27th, or should I host it on Friday, which is August 28th, or should I wait till Monday after our Sunday stock talk and host our free live trading session then, which is, if I'm not mistaken, August 31st? Should I do it on Thursday, Friday, or Monday? Let me know down in the comment section. If you guys are excited for these free live trading sessions that we host once a month, make sure you guys smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on your post notifications so YouTube can alert you when it is that I go live. Don't forget to stay connected. You guys can click the first link down below to make sure that you guys join our free Facebook group to connect with over 290,000. Did you guys hear me? 289,788 members of like-minded individuals. If you guys want to connect with them absolutely for free, that's that first link down below. We are already beginning to see signs of a potential pullback on /NQ. So it's in the very early stages. Again, just like we've said before, whatever goes up after a period of time, right? It makes sense on why it could correct itself. Never be afraid to lock in profits. Thank you guys again for your time, and until next time, take it easy, team.